Good day, friends. Welcome to the Financial Literacy. It is brought to you by the Financial Literacy Foundation in partnership with Mana TV. Thank you very much for joining us. First of all, allow me to take this opportunity and appreciate our spiritual parents, Pastor Joylene and Pastor Strike. They are our mentors. They are the vision bearers. And they are the ones who gives us this opportunity to talk to you under this platform. So thank you very much, our parents. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your courage and your standing by your vision and say, we are broadening people's mind. We are making lives better. And thank you very much. As you can hear from what our General Overseer is sharing with us this week, this morning, it has to do with money. It has to do with our wealth. It has to do with wealth creation. Guess what? Money answereth many challenges that we face in life. Without money, many things will not go. Without money, without good management, without good stewardship of money, we will struggle in life even when we have resources. So thank you very much, our GO. Thank you for considering talking to us along those lines. Today, what we want to talk about, it's one of the things that we touched on earlier in our conversations, where we spoke about provision or wealth management. But in particular today, we want to talk about providing for your retirement. Because one of the good days, we are going to retire. It's either you will die earlier or you will live up to your retirement. And one of the things that we are being conscientized on today is that we are likely to live longer. Living longer more than our parents did. Living longer much more than our grandparents did. So, and the age of retirement hasn't changed. It's still at 60, 65 or 55. The earliest you can retire will be 55. So if you are to retire at 55 or 60 or 65, whatever it may be, chances are you are likely to live much longer than you will have anticipated earlier on. Why is that so? Medical science is improving. So as medical science improves, we are able to detect sicknesses and we are able to treat them better or more successfully. So as that happens, that means that our lifelong span it's increasing, our longevity it's increasing. So the best of the things you can do, if that is the case, you are to save for your retirement. In fact, we are to save even more for your retirement. One of the challenges that we face is outliving our retirement capital. So if that is a challenge that we face, it means we have to increase our retirement savings. So we cannot afford to live without saving enough for retirement, because one day we are going to need that money. And believing that you have a pension fund at work, therefore you don't need to save anything extra for your retirement, you are lying to yourself. You are deceiving yourself, because the retirement or the pension that we have at work will never be sufficient to take you through or to preserve your economic state or your state of living even afterwards. So it is important to consider a saving for retirement. Those are of my age or slightly older. There is a very nice case study that we can look at. And you know what that is? It's our parents. Our parents can be a good case study. Question is, when you look at them, and I'm referring to a question in this case study, when you look at them, are you happy with their financial life? Are you happy with how they are living? And if you are not, you have a chance now, before you get to that age, you have a chance now to relook at that. Are they financially happy? And if they're not financially happy, it means something needs to be done. And with parents today who are already at pension, they can't do much because they can no longer save. They are supposed to be living by their savings. So you are heading there, my friend. You are heading there. You have a chance now to do things differently. You will be lucky if you are relying on the employer pension fund. You will be lucky to get 40% of your last salary by the time you go on pension. In other words, if you are earning 10,000 rand today, you will be lucky to be getting 4,000 rand from your pension by the time you go on pension. I will urge you, take a trip to your HR department. Take a trip to your pension fund administrator. Go and find out how much are you likely to be earning by the time you go on pension. So that is part of your case study. Two things, as I recap: look at your parents. Look as to whether they are happy with their financial life today. Number two, take a trip to your HR department or to your pension fund administrator. Go and find out how much are you likely to earn, or are you going to earn by the time you go on pension. Those are the few hints I can say in opening. But what do we need to do today? Start saving for your retirement. It is said that the best time to start saving for your retirement is when you start working. It's when you get your first paycheck. And the next best time, if you missed that time, it's now. And tomorrow will be too late. You need to start now to save for your retirement. Government pension will not support you. By government pension, I'm referring to two things right now. I'm referring to those who are working for government and expecting GEPF to be taking care of them. The second part, or the second group, are those who are expecting SASSA to take care of them. Who knows? Maybe it will be captured by the time you reach your retirement. So don't rely on that. Do something for yourself today. Avoid cashing out your pension at the time of changing jobs. I will repeat that. When we grow in our careers, we change occupations, we change jobs from one employer to another. And normally what happens is that when you leave your job, they want you to take your pension with you, which is legally acceptable, financially acceptable. But my hint to you today is, you don't have to cash it out. Taking your pension with you does not necessarily mean that you have to cash it out. You can preserve it. We call it preservation. You can transfer it from your former employer's pension fund into a new pension preservation fund. This is a fund which you create on your own through it could be the insurance companies, or it could be asset managers, like fund managers, investment houses. They have facilities or products where you can transfer that pension fund from your employer into that preservation fund without paying any cent in the form of tax. So it is tax advantageous, and you are able to preserve that pension so that it can be coming handy by the time you need it. Learn to preserve your pension when you change jobs. What else can we say? I can tell you of what you must never do. Never cash out your pension to go and build your house, the house that you live in. Never cash out your pension to go and buy a car, the car that you will be driving. That's the grievous sin you can do in finances. That money is meant for pensioners. When you build your house, you are not a pensioner. That money is not meant for you to go and build your house. It's meant for providing income to old age people. And that people is yourself. So are you providing income when you build your house? No. It would be better even if you were taking that money to go and buy houses that you're gonna rent out. That will be better because it is providing income. But taking that money to go and build your house, my friend, that is unbecoming. So let us avoid that. We cannot take our pensions, resign from work simply to go and build our houses. Our houses, we build it by the salaries or the income that we make whilst working. Let's look at another angle. What are the benefits that we can enjoy by saving towards our retirement, towards our pension? If we make use of the right product, you will find that there is also great tax advantages. What are the right products? Number one, it's the employer pension fund that is there at your workplace. Number two, it's retirement annuities. We can save towards our pension or towards our retirement through retirement annuities. One of the greatest benefits that we will get, number one, is that we are getting compound interest. So the earlier we start, the better, because compound interest, it is something that we enjoy over time. It's not a 2 months or a 3 months thing. It's a long-term benefit that you get in saving. But number two is that contributions that are made towards retirement annuities and the pension funds at work and the provident funds has been included recently, is that you get tax deduction. In other words, contributions that you make towards retirement annuities and the employer pension fund are tax deductible, up to 27.5% of your income, or correctly put, your taxable income. So when you look at your income, you can calculate 27.5% of that money and put it into a retirement annuity, and it will be 100% tax deductible. Why are we not making use of these opportunities? Lack of knowledge. As the word of God teaches us that lack of knowledge will kill us. Lack of knowledge will get us to miss even the advantages that are available for us. And one of those advantages is the contributions towards a retirement annuity. So I said 27.5% up to 350,000 Rand per annum, whichever is greater between the two. So if you are earning 10,000 Rand and your employer is deducting 1,000 Rand from your salary towards your employer pension fund, that will be a percentage. Now we can calculate the other percentage that you can still contribute by yourself to a retirement annuity. And these are the things that if you don't do it, you don't get the benefit. But if you do it, you enjoy the benefit. The excess contribution, you may be asking that, what if I contribute more than 27.5% to my retirement annuities? The additional amount that you may be contributing, it's still tax advantageous by the time you reach retirement. So when we are to calculate your tax at retirement, we are going to say minus the amounts that were beyond or that were above. Correctly put, amounts that were not tax deductible during the lifetime or during the contribution age of this particular taxpayer. So you still get the advantages, whether you enjoy the advantage now or you're gonna enjoy the advantage much later on. And when you are contributing above the 27.5, it's either you will get that benefit at retirement or you can carry over that benefit to the next tax year. So the tax savings are big, friends, are great. And it is basically to say, if you make a contribution towards a retirement annuity to a limit of 27.5%, the Treasury or Fiscus is willing to actually contribute on your behalf. So why are we leaving these things out? Why are we leaving these opportunities untapped? these are the chances that we can use to save towards our retirement. So when you get to a retirement age, all the previous withdrawals will be taken into account. Why are we saying this? We are saying when you reach retirement age and you did not do those withdrawals during your lifetime, you've got the best tax benefit, because the tax calculated at retirement is based on the amount available minus the amount that you have already withdrawn during your lifetime. So that money that you have withdrawn to build a house, it was supposed to give you a good tax advantage at retirement, but because you withdrew the money before retirement age, it becomes a disadvantage to you. So it's a double blow. It's a blow in that you took the money out, but also it's a blow in that you get penalized once again through tax system that you took money of old people at a young age. The other advantage that we can talk about in saving towards retirement is that retirement funds are taxed at a very advantageous rate. This is very different from other investment vehicles or investment products that we can use. Other investment vehicles like endowments, for instance, like we said during our investment series talk, it's taxed at 30%. Retirement annuities are taxed at 0%. So the level of growth in retirement annuities is much greater compared to a level of growth in an endowment or other investment vehicles. So these are the advantages that we get when we make use of the right product to save for the retirement. Remember, as we draw down, your pension fund is not immune from divorce. In other words, when you happen to divorce in life, your retirement annuity or your pension fund at work will be taken in as part of the assets that will be distributed among the partners or spouses that are divorcing. When you are in community of property, when you are married with out of community with accrual, or you are in customary marriage, your retirement annuity and your pension fund at work, it's part of the assets to be distributed. So when you get divorced, you can still preserve that money. So we are referring to now, if you get divorced, you are getting a share to yourself. That money that you are getting, you can still preserve it as well. So it is not necessarily a must that because it has been split and paid to you, you have to use that money for other things. You can still preserve it for purposes of retirement when that time comes. So your retirement annuity and your pension fund at work and your preservation fund are not part of your estate for purposes of the administration of deceased estates. In other words, when you die, your pension fund and your retirement funds and everything else are not included in the administration of that estate. Why is this important? It is important for us to understand this because we want to understand how does this asset that I'm building, the pension fund or the retirement annuity fund that I'm building, how does it relate to my estate? Remember, these things are interlocked and interrelated. And as we do one part, we need to understand the impact on the other part. We dealt extensively with estate planning and the drafting of wills in this platform. So this is what we need to know. So, but upon death, your pension fund and your retirement annuity are not necessarily going to pay out to beneficiaries based on your nomination, but they are going to pay out depending on who are your beneficiaries. Firstly, who is your spouse? Secondly, who are other beneficiaries, as in people who are dependent on you. So it pays out according to level of dependency. So if you decide to take out a retirement annuity, or at your workplace you nominate your parents and you leave out your spouse and your children, guess who's going to get that money? It's still the very same people you have left out. Because we are simply going to consider, okay, his or her mother is the beneficiary on the pension fund. But who are the other people? This is according to the law or the regulation, section 37C of the Pension Funds Act. You can go and check that one out as to how does we regulate the payout of pension funds. Speaking of the pension funds, we've got two things in pension funds. We've got the savings portion of a pension fund, and we've got a group life portion. The group life portion is that amount where they will say your payout will be 3 times your annual salary, or 2 times your annual salary. That is group life. But there is also the savings portion. All of these are governed differently. So there is a difference between the employer payout, which is the group life, and the pension fund payout, which is the savings part of it. And as we draw to conclusion, let us remember that one day you are going to be an old man. One day you are going to be an old woman. And that old man, old woman is still going to need money. That old man, old woman is still going to, and he will be having a lot of time, by the way. He might still wish to travel. He might still wish to do various things. And some of these things, we can start saving for them while we are still alive and fresh. We can still save for them where we still enjoy the greatest tax benefits. I like the part of the tax benefit. I will say to you, besides many other things, because there are different ways of saving towards retirement. It could be buying property that will continue giving you income even at retirement. It could be any other form. But the advantage that we get by making use of retirement annuities, friends, remember, it is the tax. It's the tax element, the treatment of the tax on retirement annuities. Forget those sayings where we talk about creating multiple streams of income so that you retire at 35. What do you want to do from age 36 up until you die? Don't be lazy. We are built, we are created to be fruitful. We are created to be useful to our fellow brothers and sisters. We cannot afford to want to save so that you retire early at age 35 to go and sit in a beach and watch, read a magazine. That's being lazy. So we are not meant to be lazy. You are meant to be creative. You are meant to be able to be a solution provider, to give answers to the world. And with that, let me say thank you very much. I really appreciate, but consider this. Consider the elements of how to create your nest egg, as it is said, how to create your retirement capital. Maybe as I conclude, let me say this, that it is important for you to know today, how much will you need when you reach retirement? We can find that one out. We can establish that today. As you are still living, that will be based on your budget, that will be based on your needs, that will be based on your responsibilities by the time you reach retirement. Don't miss this, friends. There are no better chances of saving towards retirement which are better than retirement annuities and employer pension funds. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day further, and may God richly bless you. May He grow you. May He advance you. May you also be able to be a good steward, to be a good manager of what God has kept in your hands. In Jesus' name, amen.